Hi, and welcome to my podcast, Confessions of a Worship Leader. During the early 1980s, the Pioneer Network of Churches held worship events at Westminster Central Hall, which is a beautiful venue right in the heart of London. And on these occasions, there would be more than 2,000 people gathered for an evening of worship and teaching. On one occasion, I was part of the stewarding team, and our responsibilities were quite simple. We were to welcome people, hand them a song sheet. Do you remember those? Song sheets. And also we would help to collect the offering. I was situated in the foyer at one of the doors to the auditorium, along with my good friend, Martin Scott. It was an easy job. Soon the venue was pretty much filled and the event began. Martin and I remained on duty at the door to welcome any latecomers to the event. Among these last-minute arrivals was a lady dressed head to toe in a flowing white dress. She was quite a spectacle. As she approached me, I put on my most welcoming smile and said something along the lines of, "Welcome to our event. We hope you enjoy the evening, and here is a song sheet for you." She looked at me, smiled, and said that she wouldn't need the song sheet because she knew all the words to the songs. I was a bit puzzled. I told her that these were new songs and that she probably wouldn't know all of them. She insisted that she knew every song that would be sung that evening. I asked her how she could be so certain. She smiled at me and said, "I know all the songs because I am the Holy Spirit." I managed to maintain a straight face, but my mind was racing with thoughts of, "Oh no, I've got a weirdo here. What am I going to do?" I looked over at Martin, who had heard this exchange and was smiling at my misfortune in having this encounter. Typical. Being as polite as possible, I gently said that I didn't believe she was the Holy Spirit. But just then, the band struck up another song, and with that she said, "I must get inside. They're singing my song." With that, she rushed past me, went into the auditorium, and made a beeline for the stage. As she passed down the aisle, she turned to people on her left and right, acknowledged their worship, and shouted, "I thank you. Thank you so much. I receive your worship." Martin and I rushed down the aisle after her, took her firmly but gently by the arms, and steered her swiftly back towards the exit. We realized it would be futile to argue with her, as she was obviously several sandwiches short of a picnic. She kept insisting that she needed to be allowed back into the auditorium because she was the Holy Spirit. How on earth were we going to handle this situation? But then we noticed that downstairs in the lower hall there was a smaller, non-charismatic Christian meeting taking place. So we suggested that maybe she should head down there as they might like to meet the Holy Spirit. That did the trick. She flitted off downstairs, and that was the last we ever saw of her. I did have a momentary pang of guilt at inflicting her on another gathering, but it soon passed. Thanks so much for listening.